Ohio State, Michigan, comparison breakdown. Hey everyone, welcome into the Voice of College Football. Please like the video. Even if you don't agree with me, if you enjoy the best discussion, debate, and analysis of college football right here, please like the video. Share these videos out on social media. Consider this. I know it's unbelievable, but there are some people out there, those poor souls that don't know about the Voice of College Football. Please share the videos out on social media and subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications to know when we go live. All right. A few weeks ago, we posted a video comparing Ohio State and Michigan's results and stats, their performance and play against three common opponents, Penn State, Iowa, and Michigan State. Please check out that video because we're not going to go over those specific numbers against those opponents. We are going to factor in, of course, those three games. There have been two added the past 2 weekends. That's Ohio State against Indiana, and then Michigan beat Rutgers last weekend. All right, let's check it out. Ohio State versus Michigan. Now, 5 common opponents. Buckeyes beat Indiana 56-14. Michigan over Indiana 31-10. The Buckeyes outpassed the Hoosiers by 203. There you see the Michigan result, 101. This is going to be a common theme. Ohio State throws the ball more and more effectively. Michigan runs the ball and runs the ball more effectively. Ohio State did outrush Indiana by 190 yards. And if you watch the game without Travion Henderson, Mayan Williams had a remarkable first half with 147 yards. Had to leave the game, though, after he was rolled up under, and we will address that in a few minutes. Michigan dominated Indiana on the ground, of course. Total yardage, Buckeyes 393. Michigan plus 247 in that matchup. Turnovers were pretty much null and void, although the Buckeyes turned it over once. First downs dominated by each team, especially Ohio State. Third down and fourth down efficiency, Ohio State and Michigan both 7 of 15 against Indiana. The Buckeyes a bit better defensively on third and fourth down in winning by 42. Now let's check out the matchups against Rutgers. Ohio State played Rutgers about a month ago. They won 49-10. Michigan last weekend against Rutgers, down 17-14, came all the way back, won by 35. Ohio State had one of its closest passing statistical games against an opponent, only outgaining Rutgers by 81 yards. Michigan actually outpassed by Rutgers from a total yardage standpoint, not from an effectiveness standpoint, but Michigan really rolled it up on the ground, 268. In advantage over Rutgers. The total yardage, Michigan with a slight advantage over the Ohio State result against Rutgers at 253 to 226. Michigan took advantage of Rutgers' turnovers in the second half to blow the game away. Ohio State and Rutgers were even. First downs, Buckeyes by 13, Michigan by 17. All right, to the key third and fourth down efficiency numbers. Ohio State was exceptional. Michigan strong at 10 for 20. Defensively, the Buckeyes extremely strong here. 1 of 13 for Rutgers offensively. Michigan held Rutgers to 4 of 15 conversions on third and fourth down. Now here are the totals against 5 common opponents, and they're quite interesting. The Buckeyes have outscored those 5 opponents, Penn State, Iowa, Michigan State, Rutgers, and Indiana by 169 points. Michigan by 115. The Buckeyes have largely done it through the air by 662. Michigan's actually been outgained by those opponents, although, of course, the opponents are throwing the ball more, and we broke that down in the previous video. But 65 yards disadvantaged by the Michigan pass offense against its opponents. The Buckeyes in the ground have been effective against those opponents for the most part, although we know that Iowa shut them down, Penn State for most of the game, and they struggled against Northwestern as well for part of the game. Buckeyes plus 541 on the ground against those 5 opponents. Michigan with a dominant 1,097-yard advantage over those 5 opponents. Total yardage, Buckeyes 1,203, Michigan plus 1,032. Turnovers, Ohio State really took it to Iowa and Penn State in particular with 10 turnovers, and they are plus 7 against those 5 opponents. Michigan just over even at plus 2. First down advantage, Michigan plus 64, Ohio State 51. Third down conversions, fourth down conversions as well. Ohio State strong at over 46%, and Michigan at 54%. That's an extremely effective advantage and performance on third and fourth downs offensively. Flip it around. Both defenses very strong on third and fourth down as well, as you might expect. Ohio State, though, even better at just over 22% third and fourth down conversion rate by those 5 opponents, while Michigan gave up 28% conversion rate. Yards per play, this is where Ohio State excels. Their offense has run 46 less plays than Michigan over the course of the season, and less plays in these games against these 5 opponents. However, Ohio State is number 1 in the nation in yards per play. Michigan is number 20. All right, how does it size up against these 5 opponents? Ohio State has gained that much yardage in that many plays, 7.6 plus yards per play. Michigan at 5.89, a decent rate, but Ohio State's is prolific, a yard and a half better, even more than that, than Michigan. Defensively, you would think that Michigan might have the advantage here. However, against those 5 opponents, they're virtually equal. Michigan giving up just over 4 yards per play. Ohio State just over 4 yards per play, 4.23 versus 4.28. Those are the stats. It's fun to look at. Does it mean anything? Well, no, it's got to be placed into context. Michigan's one of the most effective rushing attacks in all of college football, arguably the best. The offensive line has been amazing. It's been aggressive, dominant, and orchestrated, especially with the transfer coming in from Virginia at center. He's been amazing, Oluwatimi. Of course, they may have the best running back in the nation. He may win the Heisman Trophy. The Buckeyes are beat up at running back with Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams, 2 extremely good backs, but beat up. We will see how that plays out in a couple weeks. Of course, Ohio State throws the ball better than anyone, arguably. Michigan doesn't throw it well deep. They missed on more shots this past weekend against Nebraska going deep, and they'll have to work that out and make that part of their arsenal if they so choose and want to work on that. Otherwise, that's going to be a bit of a liability against Ohio State. Both defenses have been exceptional for the most part. It should be quite a game. And fortunately, we don't have to go off the stat sheet for 5 common opponents. It's just fun to look at. In 2 weeks, we've got the game. Weather may factor. Home field advantage may factor, of course. It's Ohio State, Michigan in Columbus. They should both be undefeated. The Buckeyes take on Maryland this weekend. And, of course, Michigan's got an interesting game against a Illinois team that has lost 2 straight, but still has one of the better running backs in the nation in Chase Brown and a top-level defense. We will see you next time as we break down college football every day with you right here at the Voice of College Football.